we have a school, an on-site school or an on-site classroom in our drop-in center that serves youth under the age of 20, so that youth can work on their high school diplomas or work towards a high school diploma. We also have a GED program, so folks can get individual counseling and tutoring towards being able to complete their GED. And then we also do a lot of post-secondary support. So we work with folks to get them into college, get them enrolled in college, build study skills, take folks on college exploration trips to the local colleges, city college, state college, and both in San Francisco and in the surrounding Bay Area counties when we can. And then we do have scholarships available for folks so that if that doesn't have to be a barrier, and we do help with financial aid. And then I don't know if you want to talk some about the other employment services
about
or the internship
higher
programs.
up. Is that one of the...
higher up is the education and employment service. There's a job readiness class. There's computer training. Like Sherilyn was saying, there's the GED classes, and they help you with testing fees, and it's great. It's a really comprehensive service.
And there was one that I was really impressed. I got to visit the facility. And by the way, how many facilities are there in the city right now?
So 13.
13.
13
Wow. And
sites.
what neighborhoods, just so that people might be able to find out where to go. And by the way, this is a call-in show, so if you have a question, whether you're a parent or a youth or someone that might want to know more information, 621-4473 is the number you can call us. But what areas are they located in, so they know?
So they know. So the drop-in center, there's one in the Tenderloin on Sutter Street between Larkin and Polk. There's another drop-in center on the Haight. So that's places where folks can usually go pretty immediately to be able to get services. The Haight Street Referral Center is not open every day, all day, but most days, at least in the afternoons. And then that's also where our street outreach workers do a lot of work. So folks are usually able to find Larkin Street. The drop-in center on Sutter's open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then the other sites throughout the city are in the Haight, in the Richmond, south of Market, a couple of more sites in the Tenderloin. Those are most of our either shelters or our transitional living programs. So we have shelters, again, for youth that are under the age of 18. We have a shelter for youth that are over 18. And then there's 9 different transitional living programs.
Wow.
So we have both kind of a transitional living program where people can come and they live 15 folks to one building, and we have 24-hour staffing. We also have some transitional living programs like the one Jonas is in, where folks live in the community in their own apartments or single room occupancy hotels, and we have staff that then work with them, case management staff that visit them regularly, or they come to our other sites to receive our services.
And there is a beautiful program that I heard about when I visited, where someone actually does become employed, and they donate, a third of what their pay is towards their housing, but that money is put aside in an account for them. So after a certain amount of time, when it adds up, they are able to put a down payment and maybe a security payment on an apartment to be able to live on their own. What a wonderful idea.
Yeah, so the idea is that, so in all of our transitional living programs, folks pay rent because we need to have that experience, right? So we will all
know it well.
you have to pay rent, and especially in San Francisco, in the Bay Area. So the experience is to pay rent as a way to get used to living on the income. And a portion of your income goes towards the rent, and then you get that back when it's time for you to exit the program, so that you do have help with a security deposit or whatever you may need to establish your own housing situation.
So you're flexing that muscle.
By
trying to.
And it's a life skill, I think.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What a great idea. And that really gets them set up well. And it's amazing how many people actually do go on to go to college, and how many that do actually get in the workforce, and they never would have had that option otherwise.
Right. I think it's the kind of support that they get at higher up, and through Jonas and the other staff and interns at higher up, to be able to balance working, going to school, dealing with your housing. Most of us had help from parents or extended family to be able to do that. And I'd say most of the youth that we see at Larkin Street just don't have that safety net of services. And so without Larkin Street, they just literally would have nowhere to turn and nowhere to get help from.
I mean, just yesterday, my capacity as an intern at Higher Up, I helped, another one of my peers who I saw as homeless probably less than 2 months ago. I was sitting down and helping him apply for classes at City College on the computer.
That's amazing.
Like that dramatic of a turnaround in such a short period of time can only be attributed to, like I said, this very thorough approach.
You know what? We have a call. Let's take that call. Welcome, caller, to the show. Did you have a question?
Yes, I did. Hi. I have a question for Ms. Adams
Okay.
about the independent living program we have. Is it for people who are over 18, would you say?
Over 15?
Over 18.
Oh, over 18 is the program for children over 18.
We have both. So we have the transitional living programs primarily serve folks that are 18 to 24. We also, for youth that are under the age of 18, we have a shelter. We have a transitional living program for youth that are 15 to 18. But most of the programs serve folks that are 18 to 24.
And you can get information on that from the website that is located on the screen, hopefully right now. Good job, Arnett. Great, thank you for calling. Excellent. So is there a certain demographic of child that is coming to Larkin Street? And also, if you could address the whole drop-off law, whereas it was in the news just recently where it was a Nebraska law where you could bring your child if you couldn't deal with it. It was supposed to be for infants, but people were bringing their kids up until 17. Now you get drop-offs here in San Francisco as well.
Right. So I think in terms of the Nebraska law, there's safe haven laws throughout the country, which were intended to protect, allow for mothers to drop off infants, so 0 to 3 days old or 0 to a week old, so that to prevent the risk of the babies being left somewhere that they would perish. So the Nebraska law was for 0 to 18, and so parents who were feeling, I think, probably at their wits' end, or financially or emotionally, or just could not take care of their kids, were dropping them off, and that caused, that was, we all heard about that.
Right.
I think the reality is that for many young people, that happens in all parts of the country. That kids either get kicked out, like Jonas talked about, with the folks that he's been working with, or parents either. Often, I think, just because they don't know what to do. And especially now, they've run out of money, they've run out of resources. So there's some large amount of family conflict that just can't be resolved, and they drop the kids off, or kick them out, and they end up at places like Larkin Street.
I'd imagine with the economy being in the position that it is, a lot of families just financially can't afford to have kids stay at home with them.
Right. And if you don't have the resources, and your kid turns 18 and you feel, and there's other children in the home, or you become homeless yourself, then, I think it's, again, not out of a not caring or loving your child, just not being able to provide for them and being at your wit's end.
Well, this is such a great service. Sherilyn, why are you involved in this? What is your reason for being at this particular organization?
So I've been a social worker and been in nonprofits for 20 years now, and I specifically sought out to work at Larkin Street about 5 years ago. I really have always been very drawn to working with children, youth, and families, and that's kind of been my focus. But I'd heard about Larkin Street. I had some experience with them through doing some presentations for their staff and volunteers, and I loved the agency, I loved the vibrance, I loved the mission, and I applied for a job and I got it 5 years ago.
Excellent. And it's very rewarding.
It's a great job.
I can see it.
It's a great agency.
And Jonas, what is the best thing that you've gotten from Larkin Street?
Oh, God. That's an impossible question.
In 3 words or less.
In 3 words or less. I think the best thing that I've gotten from Larkin Street is just kind of the opportunity to take some of that stress off with trying to work at these jobs that weren't paying enough money in an area that was so competitive for employment, and just really kind of let me examine where I want to go. It gave me the opportunity to really just, like I said, just to step back a little bit and really get myself together, which is great.
It's a wonderful job both of you are doing. Thank you so much for joining us this
Thanks
evening.
for having us.
Thank you for making a difference in the city. For those of you out there that this might be helpful for, or if you know somebody who could benefit from this organization, this wonderful organization, please have them contact the website number at the bottom of the screen right now. Is there a phone number?
673-0911.
Okay, you got that. Thank you so much. Good night. This is SF Live. My name is Christina Marie Flores.
Mm-hmm.